You're listening to 10 Points, a podcast with your hosts, Ash and Nicholas, where all the talk is Canadian Highlander, our favorite format from the best trading card game ever, Magic the Gathering.
Hi everyone, it's me, Ash.
And me, Nicholas, and today we're going to be doing a similar thing to what we did when we brewed the Rakdos aggro deck live on the podcast. We're going to be brewing another deck today.
But first, I cut you off. But first, we're going to be talking about our best cards from Mirage this episode. So there are actually a good number of cards that I think could take that spot. A couple cards that I thought about were actually Lion's Eye Diamond and Flash. Flash, like, it kind of seems like it might not have the hugest impact because you don't see it that often. But I think the reason you don't see it that often is because the deck gets a little samey. But it's a 6-pointed card, I think. Well, no, hold on. The points got all weird on it. It has in its history been a very high pointed card for a reason. So I think that it had a lot of effect on the early days of the format, as well as being a very important part of the format now. But that's not my best card. Those are just some ones I considered. I think my best card is going to be Mystical Tutor from this set. Mainly because Worldly Tutor and Enlightened Tutor, while right up next to it, they tutor things that have other tutors. And Mystical Tutor, there's not too much that does Mystical Tutor as well as it does. Worldly Tutor, you have a million creature tutors, and then Enlightened Tutor, there's a lot of artifact tutors already, and a couple enchantment tutors. But Mystical Tutor, I think, just has the most... It does the thing better. It does its thing better than all the other things, and doesn't have as many other options, if that makes sense.
Yeah. My best, so same as Ash. This is one of the first few sets in a while where there's really many options. And I'm not going with Mystical Tutor purely because, well, for two reasons. One, I am a creature combo player, so I can't betray my roots. But also, Mystical Tutor is 2 points, and Worldly Tutor, which is my best card from, is 0 points. And while Ash is correct, there are many other creature tutors that you can choose from. I think Worldly Tutor, the fact that it's an instant, so you can kind of surprise them on their instep, and the fact that it's 0 points as to where Mystical Tutor is 2 points, I'm going to give my best card from to Worldly Tutor.
All right. I think we should quickly just go over the other honorable mentions, which I kind of already said all of them, but Enlightened Tutor is a very honorable mention.
Yeah, Lion's Eye Diamond.
For sure. Flash, I also, you cannot forget the fact that Pacifism was originally printed in this set.
Wall of Roots is also a very solid option.
Yeah, I was joking with the Pacifism. Also, this is not an honorable mention, but I just noticed that Foratog is in this set. So that's cool. It's 2 and a green for a 1/2, and you can pay a green sack of forest to give it 2/2 till end of turn.
Oh, dude, that's so good. I mean, you don't need lands. Lands don't do anything.
Okay, but it eats forests, right? It has a great flavor text. It says 500 years to grow, barely a minute to eat. Which makes me wonder how large this thing is.
Very.
So, anyway, do you want to talk about what we're doing today?
Yeah, so we are going to be brewing a deck based around Niv-Mizzet Reborn. So it's gonna be kind of spicy, and probably not great. But basically it's gonna be a bunch of, like, 2-color combination spells, coming together to form a pile of something, where your kind of goal is to land a Niv-Mizzet Reborn and draw a bunch of cards off of it.
And then probably, again, that's my idea anyway.
Yeah.
I would like for it to happen more than once.
I thought you were gonna, like, continue that sentence with something else. You said, and then again, and I was like, oh, are you gonna reiterate something we've already said? And I was, like, waiting for you to finish, and I was like, oh, wait, nope, I get it. That's funny.
No, do you want to read the rules text of Niv-Mizzet? I have it up if you don't.
Yeah, I mean, I can. So it is Wooburg for a 6/6 with flying, legendary creature, dragon avatar. And when Niv-Mizzet Reborn enters the battlefield, reveal the top 10 cards of your library. For each color pair, choose a card that's exactly those colors from among them. Put the chosen cards into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So you can potentially draw 10 cards when this ETBs, although that is fairly unlikely.
I think if we can feel like we're consistently hitting 3 cards, we're feeling good about this.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, a 5-mana 6/6 flyer, like, that's already, like, pretty solid. I mean, it's not the most mana efficient threat you can play, but it's gonna kill him. But yeah, if you can hit, like, even just, like, 2 cards off of this, that's, like, really good. But I think realistically we'll be hitting, like, 3 or 4, maybe 5 pretty consistently, as long as we get our spread of color combinations pretty even.
Now, I do want to quickly touch on the fact that we did talk about in a previous episode about the value you get in mid-range decks from playing 3 colors. Part of that value is the fact that you get to play a lot of gold cards, because gold cards are just inherently a little more pushed than monocolor cards. Not always, but often. And that's another benefit we get from playing this deck, is even if we never draw a Niv-Mizzet, we're setting ourselves up to have good mana to be able to play all these gold cards. So that's good.
I think this is, like, while Niv-Mizzet is going to be a big part of this deck, I think a lot of the cards in this deck will just be super powerful by themselves. And as long as you don't get mana screwed, or I guess color screwed. I don't see
how we could get mana screwed.
Yeah, no, I don't see any possible way that could happen. Yeah, so do we just want to jump in?
Yeah.
Alright, first things first.
Well, let's break it up into a couple sections here. We want ways to find Niv-Mizzet. We want ways to double up on Niv-Mizzet. And we want ways to fix mana.
Okay, before we get into any of that, though, we need to decide what direction we're going with this deck.
I'm thinking just, like... I was just thinking, like, I guess you could call it more grindy. I don't feel like we want to be, like, control with this.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, too, is just mid-range. But knowing you, I didn't know if you had some, like, weird combo or something that you were wanting to shoehorn in. But yeah, I think just, like, a grindy mid-range deck.
Yeah, I just want all of our cards to be better than their cards.
Yeah, which they probably will be.
Right. So... I guess we probably just kind of start writing cards down, right? Like,
yeah. So I think
we want a roughly even split of color pairs.
Yeah. So
we want most of our cards to be 2 colors, not 3.
I mean, I don't think we want any 3 color cards.
Well, I mean,
unless it is really, really good. But may I request that the very first card we add into this list is Soul Herder, because Soul Herder plus Niv-Mizzet just seems absurd.
Yeah, seems good.
They work together pretty well.
Yeah, I'm trying to format this now, and I also was just looking away from the microphone like a dummy.
Sure. While you're doing that, I'm going to talk about what our mana base consists of. So, being a 5-color deck, obviously Blood Moon and Price of Progress are going to be big banes to us. So I think what we want to do is just have a completely even split of basic lands. That way we don't get screwed over by Blood Moon, we don't get screwed over by Price of Progress, and we're just playing, like, 8 of each basic and calling it good.
And because we're playing exactly even numbers of each basic, we're statistically likely to draw exactly the same number of each, so we can always cast Niv-Mizzet on curve.
Yeah, exactly. You're never going to have any mana problems because of how even the split of basics is. Alright, joking aside, we're not doing that. I mean, we could. That would make this deck super spicy, and also it would never work.
We are not doing that. Okay, so you say Soul Herder. I think Soul Herder is a good idea. So I cannot remember all the guilds. I have Azorius, Boros, Dimir, Simic, Selesnya, Gruul.
Golgari.
Oh yes, your favorite. Sorry, my bad.
I don't think you got Rakdos.
Is it Rakdos? Wait, that's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Uh-oh. What am I missing? Orzhov.
Alright. So, I guess we don't need to be completely even split, but I think we want to be pretty even split. So do we just want to, let's see, do we just want to do, 4 or 5 of each?
Something like that. I mean, we want it to be a pretty even split, I think.
Yeah, I think, between 4 and 5 of each. And then maybe we just,
we play through every single charm. Every single guild charm.
I don't really know what they all do.
They're all amazing. That's all you need to know.
Sure. So 10 of our slots are taken up by
I'm
charms.
joking.
I think. Joking. Do we just want to go through each guild and just do them one at a time?
That seems good to me.
All right.
I mean, if we just think of other stuff, of course we can just do it. Though.
So I guess we're starting with Azorius because we started with Soul Herder.
Yeah. So Soul Herder, insane, and Insano bananas.
Kind of like both Teferis.
What, 5 and 3?
Yeah. The other one doesn't count. That's not a real magic card. That's just something that was printed for money.
There's several of them, but okay.
Oh, well, the only
You're
two
talking about the other blue-white one?
The only two that I have ever cast. Oh, yeah, I guess there's the mono blue one, isn't there?
Yeah, and then the creature version. And the other mono blue one.
Alright.
And the Planeswalker deck one.
Planeswalkers.
I think there's also there's 2 Planeswalkers. Okay, there's so many Teferis. There's only 2 that...
Alright, sure. Let's play every single Teferi.
Azorius Charm, maybe. Gives your stuff lifelink.
Yeah, Azorius Charm seems good because it's also, removal.
Yeah.
Alright, so we get one more card in Azorius.
Yeah.
I mean, if we really want to lean into the, I feel like most of the cards that we're going to get that are going to be able to repeatedly flicker Niv-Mizzet are going to be in Azorius, so we could just throw Venser in there.
Does that flicker or blink?
I believe it flickers.
I mean, that seems good.
Yeah. I mean, we could also do Brago instead, because that's a threat, but I think our threats are going to come out of different colors.
Yeah, I also feel like we don't blink, we don't blink enough other things, probably, for Brago.
I mean, yeah, but we don't need to. I mean, I guess there's the awkward situation in which you draw the Venser without Niv-Mizzet, but I'm envisioning you play Niv-Mizzet, you hit the Venser off of it, and then you're
I feel like we want to be playing cards that are good enough on their own.
Yeah, I guess that is the question. Is Soul Herder and Venser good enough on their own?
I think Soul Herder is dope anyway.
Yeah.
Soul Herder, if you have any creature, even if you're not getting value from flickering it, you're making Soul Herder bigger.
That's true.
It still does something, gives yourself vigilance, right? Venser doesn't really do anything.
Sure. So we'll cut out on Venser, and I guess the goal of this deck is to have all of the cards good on their own, but even better if you play a Niv-Mizzet.
Right, so I guess let's come back to blue-white.
Sure. Yeah.
Boros, Lightning Helix.
Yep.
Boros Charm is actually kind of fine. It can go face. It can give yourself indestructible.
I don't like it.
Really?
Okay. Here's what I'm thinking. If I'm playing a 3-color mid-range deck that has Boros in its colors, I'm not playing Boros Charm. So if I'm playing a 5-color mid-range deck with less slots, yeah, but you don't need it to have double strike. I mean, you're already beating him with a 6/6.
Can we play General Ferris Rokirik?
I don't even know what that card does.
Okay, let me read you the rules text of General Ferris Rokirik. You ready?
Yep.
1 red-white for a legendary creature human soldier, 3/1. Hexproof from monocolored. Whenever you cast a multicolor spell, create a 4/4 red and white golem artifact creature token.
Yeah.
Seems good.
Yep.
Very good.
I find it funny how elitist he is against monocolored cards. He's like, oh, you puny monocolored.
He's like, you guys are not diverse enough. You need to get on that.
Do we want to play Nahiri? She gets Niv-Mizzet, and then you get 2 ETBs off of it.
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
That seems pretty solid.
And it also just like it just you just loot.
Yeah.
Okay. Nahiri, what's she called?
The Harbinger.
Nahiri the Harbinger. Okay. What other cards are we in Boros for? Are there any good creatures to just smack?
I think we need to be careful about our curve being too high, because right now I'm noticing a lot of 3, 4, and 5. So I think.
I mean, yeah, we're gonna have a lot of. We're not gonna have nearly as many 1-drops.
Yeah,
because we need stuff to be 2 colors.
I think our few slots that are not in 2 color combinations should be for maybe birds and both of the hierarchs.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, we're also playing. Oh, those are I guess 1-drops, but we're gonna be playing Sylvan Caryatid as well, obviously.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think we have to pick all of our cards for each color.
That's true. We can come back to Boros and kind of see what we're missing.
Dimir, I'm thinking Drown of the Lock is just generally good, but you are counting on your opponent to put cards in their graveyard.
Yeah.
We can play the 2-mana Surveil Thoughtseize.
No. I feel like we're trying to get the best cards out of every color, 2-color combination, not the...
Okay, Ashiok.
Yeah, that's
the War of the Spark one?
Yeah, the only one that really sees much play.
I mean, the Theros one wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah, that's
card's
true.
just fine. The card's just fine.
I played that for a long time in my Grixis control list.
You just get to exile their cards, and then they're playing Singleton, and they don't ever get those cards.
And then
I feel like people are just tutoring for value more and more now. They're just removing stuff. If you just hit their Field of the Dead, you're just oh, okay, that's half their game plan.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to playing it.
Okay,
it's a solid 3-drop.
I don't remember. Okay, one's Dream Render, and one's Nightmare Weaver. I'd be down for both, honestly.
Sure.
They're both good. Ashiok, Dream Render, Ashiok, Nightmare Muse. I'm gonna build this deck in paper, by the way. I can already tell.
Isn't it Nightmare Weaver or is it Nightmare Muse?
Sorry, Nightmare Muse is the 5-drop one, which is also probably fine, but I don't think that's what we're doing.
Yeah. Do we want to play Baleful Strix as a lower curve card?
Yeah, it is a great blocker, and it gives us value from our blink effects.
Yeah, that's true. It's really good with the Soul Herder.
Is Baleful Strix with an I or a Y? It's an I.
No clue. Do we want to play Counter Squall?
I think we do need some amount of counter magic.
Yeah, I think we want some amount of counter magic. We could have Dovin's Veto be our 5th Azorius card.
Alternatively, if we want some counter magic that can hit creatures, though we have so much removal in this deck, we probably don't even need to counter creatures.
That's what I'm especially once we get to Rakdos, I think we're probably on Terminate and Dreadbore and potentially K command. Oh, once they kill your Niv-Mizzet, you just return it to your hand.
Reborn. Okay, yeah. Let's do the Dovin's Veto then.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Any other Dimir cards you think of right now?
No, we can come back to that.
Yeah. Simic.
Right. Uro and Oko.
Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath. Oko, Thief of Crowns. Growth Spiral.
Yep. What's the one? The Simic 5 mana. It gets Niv-Mizzet. Bring to Light.
Oh yes. So good. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Cause you know what we can do, right? We can just cast it. If we get it with Niv-Mizzet, we just cast it for 5 mana and go get Ephemerate.
Or Soul Herder.
depending on if we think they have removal for Soul Hoarder, like a Bolt or something.
Sure, I guess that's fair.
Dude, Simic is so good. There's so many good
Simic
cards
is
in Simic.
insane.
Do we want to play Hydroid Crisis?
Yeah.
Like that one kind of scales.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it like technically scales, but if you're casting it for 3 mana, it does nothing. So maybe it's not even actually good because we want some more lower cost stuff.
Yeah, so that's what I'm noticing is we have a pretty high curve. So there are 2 directions we can take. Start trying to dedicate more slots to things lower on the curve, or like have a few things that get us higher on the curve and then just like go big mid-range like
5 color good
cards.
stuff.
Yeah, 5 color good stuff.
Okay, so we already put a Growth Spiral in here. Is there any other Simic card that ramps like that? I don't think so. I mean Oko. Sorry, Uro.
Uro, yeah.
We can come back to this.
Yeah, we can come back.
We're just that's gonna be the name of this episode. We can come back. We can come back from this.
Yeah, we can come back.
Selesnya, Knight of Autumn, great to blink.
Oh yeah, Knight of Autumn is very good. Fey Burrow Elder seems just really good in this deck.
Yeah, it is. If anyone doesn't know what that is, it is a 3 mana, I think it's a star, something like that, based on the number of colors of permanents you control. So it's 1 green white, so it's already 2, and it taps for mana equal to like 1 for each color of permanent you control.
Yeah, and it has vigilance.
Yeah, so by itself it taps for green white, but if you have other color permanents, it taps for those colors too. So it's kind of like a Bloom Tender.
So, but in this deck, it just becomes a 5/5 that you can attack with, and then after you attack with it, you can tap it to make 5 mana and cast your stuff.
If you have those color permanents.
Yeah, but you do.
Yeah, you're right. So I feel like it doesn't go with the vibe of the deck, but if we wanted a lower curve, we could play Dryad Militant.
Is that the one that exiles instants and sorceries or whatever?
Yeah, it's a 2/1, but like I don't think we're on that.
Yeah, I mean, no, I don't think so.
What is Dramoka's command?
That one's actually pretty good, I think. We could also play Selesnya Charm. That one's pretty good.
I don't think it goes in. I mean, I play that card in 4-color blood, but I don't think it goes in this deck. Okay, so Dramoka's command is you can prevent all damage target instant or sorcery would do this turn. For example, Price of Progress. You can make target player sack an enchantment. For example, Blood Moon if you float green-white.
Sure.
In response to Blood Moon. You can put a 1/1 count on target creature, or you can have a creature fight. One of your creatures fight another creature you don't control, and you pick 2.
Seems decent.
Frankly, I think that just the potential to facilitate beating 2 of the cards we lose hardest to seems good.
Yeah.
Also, you can make someone sacrifice their Eidolon of the Great Revel.
Yeah.
I think Dramoka's and like because we just play a bunch of big stuff, random big creatures, or like decent sized creatures. It's probably just fine.
Yeah, I mean it's like more removal, sort of.
Yeah. We also could play like Knight of the Reliquary, or if we want to go lower on the curve even more, Knight of the Reliquary is really good for setting up our mana, obviously, but we could also play a Voice of Resurgence. I think that's just probably just a good option.
Oh, yeah, Voice of Resurgence is a really good option to be lower on the curve as well.
Just to be able to like play, like just play the game before you're getting into our later stuff, and just as good.
Yeah, Knight of the Reliquary seems pretty good too.
Kitchen Finks might be better. We can also just play 6 Selesnya cards. It's not a big deal. That's
true. We'll have to see where our numbers are. I say put Kitchen Finks over Knight.
I was just gonna put both. I mean, we have a lot of 3-drops, I guess. Finks is probably better.
Finks. I just said Sphinx. No, Finks keeps us alive. Is my thing. Like I feel like once we get to the late game, we don't lose. Like our cards are better than yours, but getting through the early game is maybe more important.
Yeah, also I've noticed, and I did play the Knight of the Reliquary when I played 5-color Zoo, which by the way, we're playing a lot of similar cards, but the deck's I think gonna play quite a bit different. Something I noticed about that is it's really tough because though you think you have a lot of forests and plains in the deck, you kind of don't.
Yeah.
You go through them too fast, so like it's kind of harder to actually get that much use out of the night. Like it gets big, but that's it. It doesn't think the utility we would want from it.
I think the question also kind of lies in how many utility lands are we playing? Because while it fixes your mana, like that's not really why you're playing it. Usually, you want it more. I mean, sure, it's a big beat stick when you're playing 10 fetches in your deck, but I think you really would rather just like have it to be able to get the utility lands that you need. And I don't think we can afford to play that many.
I agree. So moving on to Gruul. Bloodbright Elf.
Yes.
Bloodbright Elf seems good.
Hot.
Ren in 6.
Ren in 6. Do we want to play Clothis?
We can.
Mana.
Yeah. It's pretty good. Territorial Kavu.
Are we really on Territorial Kavu?
It helps us like it loots, doesn't it? Like it loots and is a 2-mana 5/5. And it's like low on the curve. It's great. It also messes with their graveyard. What do you mean? This is amazing. It gets
Sure. Alright, we got one more slot for Gruul.
I don't think we have to be like exactly 5 of everything. Also,
yeah. Alright, how many creatures are we on so far? Do we want to play Domri?
The can't be countered one? Wait, the Gatecrash one?
Yeah, the one, it's like 3 mana and it pluses in your Villa top card, and if it's a creature, it goes in your hand, and then...
I mean, we're on a lot of creatures, but I don't feel like we want to be doing that.
Sure.
I would vote no.
We'll just leave Gruul where it is for now, and we can always come back.
Okay.
Alright.
Golgari, Deathrite Shaman.
Yep, that is the instant first include. Do we want to...
Abrupt Decay? Like, I feel like we want just removal, right?
Well, yeah, so that's what I was about to ask. So we want removal, but we need to decide, like, are we on Abrupt Decay and Assassin's Trophy? Alright, you're typing both of them in, so I feel like
we just want the efficient removal. More like, I don't think we need a Maelstrom Pulse. We have a lot of other ways to kill stuff later.
Yeah, and
like, we're pretty good at killing planeswalkers with creatures.
We want our removal lower on the curve, because we get higher on the curve, we're just slamming threats.
Yeah. Are there any threats we want out of Golgari? Like,
we could play Marin. We're on a lot of creatures, just like value Marin.
I don't think our stuff's dying. I mean, it's just regrowing stuff to our hand is not bad.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying Marin is the best card that we could be playing, but it's like not bad.
I'm iffy on Marin. I feel like we can just do better things with 4 mana, like more consistent things.
Yeah, sure.
Like a lot of the times, honestly, Marin feels like a Turtle Witness that has less targets. Like, because it just eats removal.
Yeah, I get that. Ooh, dude. Alright, so this is kind of a pet card of mine, but jumping back to Simic, do we want to play Rashmi?
No.
But why? It's so good.
No, we're not playing Rashmi.
But it's so good.
If anyone wants to look it up, it's Rashmi Eternity's Crafter.
Alright, what about Prime Speaker Vanifar?
No.
Killing my fun.
You know what's awkward about this deck is like we're playing a 5-color deck full of creatures where we don't want to play Knight of New Alara.
I don't even know what that one does.
Multicolor creatures get 1/1 for each color. So we're like give our team +2/+2.
Yeah.
But it's like that's all it does.
Yeah.
I feel like we just want cards that'll win the game by themselves, so we can draw 4 cards that win the game by themselves off Niv-Mizzet.
Yeah, I don't think our threats are... Like, I don't think we're worried about our threats being too small.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is it? I don't think we're on enough spells for Galvanic Iteration to be that good.
No, we could play...
Expressive Iteration.
I guess they're kind of difficult on the mana, but we could play some of the other Niv-Mizzets.
Disagree. I don't think any of them are good enough. I think Expressive Iteration is probably fine.
What does that one do?
Have you? Okay. It's blue-red for a sorcery. Exile the top 3.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Sorry, you look at the top 3, you exile one to play till end of turn, you put the other one in your hand, and then one on the bottom.
I forgot what it was called. Yeah, we also probably are just on Is It Charm.
Spell Pierce, Faithless Looting, or Shock a creature?
Yeah, Shock. I think it's Shock creature or face.
No, that can't be. I would know.
I have no idea.
Dude, we are unironically playing like 4 charms. It's fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, Dak Faden. Get in the deck.
Dak Faden, yes.
Do we want... If we want more hard counters, we could play Counterflux. It also beats Storm.
How often? It's just another counter that can't be countered.
Yeah, I mean, it's a counter that counters like anything, as opposed to our other 2 counters, which are non-creatures. I guess also Is It Charm, which also only does non-creature.
We could do Ionize to be a little easier to cast.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Our mana is like, I don't know, but Ionize is one that shocks them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. That seems perfectly reasonable.
I do find it funny that we're playing, just so far written down, we have, we have 6 cards that are printed in the same block as this Niv-Mizzet.
Oh, nice.
So I mean, currently written down anyway. So I find that a little bit funny. Fire Ice.
What was that accent?
I'm
not letting you get past that. Alright.
Fire Ice?
Yeah, it seems decent. Alright, I know we already... Oh, I guess we only have 5 cards in Selesnya. Do we just want to throw in an Eladamri's Call?
Oh, yes.
Because it finds Niv-Mizzet, but you can also get it on with Niv-Mizzet.
Yeah, I mean, doubling up how, like same with, Grossbar, like, stuff that gets us to Niv-Mizzet better, and then also just gets value, like, fixes... Sorry. Stuff that accomplishes the other goals in the deck, and are also gettable with Niv-Mizzet is just, like, a win-win.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, Rakdos, we want...
Alright, Dreadbore Terminate.
Dreadbore Terminate, for sure.
And K-Command.
So, Dreadbore... Dude, this deck looks so freaking fun.
I know, honestly, I kind of want to sleeve this up and play it now.
I might next week.
I might not next week. I did just top 8 a modern thing and get a bunch of store credit that I am not using on anything at the moment.
You probably have most of this.
Yeah. Let's see, what am I... Yeah, honestly, I'm really not missing much of this.
So I know that we... I know that we are trying to... We're trying to beat Blood Moon. So I think we might have to play some cards that are like... but like we really need to be able to beat Blood Moon.
I don't think... No, we're not beating Blood Moon.
Can you... they're fine without Blood Moon. Can you hear me out?
Sure.
Chromatic Lantern and Dryad of the Elysian Grove.
Dryad seems fine. I think Chromatic Lantern is not what we want to be doing on turn 3.
It ramps us into Niv-Mizzet.
Yeah, but it doesn't do anything else. I mean, I guess it fixes... sure. We'll play it for the sake of mana fixing. In Rakdos, we also probably want Kroxa.
Yeah, Kroxa's fine. Titan of Death's Hunger?
That sounds right. Titan of something or other.
How do we feel about what is it called? I can see the art. I think Seth McKinnon did the art. It's like a Rakdos. I think it's red, black, black, and it kills like a creature, planeswalker, or artifact. Creature. Planeswalker.
Oh my goodness! I cannot believe I am blanking on this card. It's oh my goodness.
Do we want to play that?
Yeah.
Well, what's it called? So I can write it down.
It's right on. This is literally one of my favorite arts ever. It's got such a good art.
There's so many people yelling at us right now.
Yeah, including myself. Like, it's literally on the tip of my tongue or mind or whatever. Alright. I'm just gonna grab my toolkit and start going through the multicolored section until I find the card. I guess I also could have just been doing this for other things as well. Alright, move on to something else. Oh, it's Bedevil.
Bedevil. I found it. So do we want that?
Yes.
Okay, Orzhov.
Oh wait, we're still missing something in Azorius, aren't we?
No.
Oh.
What ID do you got?
Shorikai.
I say we add Shorikai.
Card's real good.
Shorikai's insane. Do you have a Shorikai?
I do.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going through the multicolor section of my toolkit right now, and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of cards that could be in this deck.
Okay, Orzhov. Vindicate or Anguish to Making?
I think Vindicate, because our mana base is already going to be kind of painful.
Yeah, you're right. So we have Vindicate. Surely there are other good cards in these colors.
I feel like Orzhov is one of the colors that I play the least two-color combinations in. We could play Kaya's Guile. That one's pretty good.
It's alright, I guess.
I mean, it, does things. I guess our 3-drop slot's probably already pretty full.
Lingering Souls is not technically two colors.
I know, that was just, in my mind. I was like, man, I wish Lingering Souls worked here.
Huh. Surely there's gotta be, actually good Orzhov cards. What are we not thinking of?
Just good threats in Orzhov. I feel like we've been doing, a lot of removal and stuff. Maybe throw in a few more good threats. Man, there's gotta be better cards in Orzhov. We could play, the, 3-mana Taxi guy that whenever someone plays a non-creature spell, it drains.
Oh, Comball? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that seems pretty good. I mean, especially, like I said, our mana base is pretty painful, so, living longer seems good.
It also beats Storm.
Yeah, it does beat Storm with a lot of efficiency.
It's also pretty good against control. It gets removed, obviously, but you're playing against control and everything gets removed.
Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna, go through and look at the curve of our deck real quick.
I'm gonna start writing down just some other cards.
Okay. I think Birds and
Paradise.
both of the Hierarchs. Oh, we should play Coiling Oracle, because that's pretty good at getting us to Niv-Mizzet, but it's also pretty good at Soul Herder.
Or Ephemerate.
Yeah, or Ephemerate.
Speaking of Ephemerate.
Yeah.
Ephemerate.
I'm gonna do a count real quick and see where we're at.
I recently built a Pauper deck and a $25 vintage deck, both of which are playing 4 Ephemerates. Oh wait, it's $30 vintage, not 25.
Alright, we're at 50 cards. Sorry I wasn't responding, I was counting and I didn't want to lose my place. Yeah, Ephemerate is very good. Alright, so currently we only have 3 cards in Boros, 2 in Orzhov, and 3 in Golgari. So I think we want to get those all to at least 4. So, why? It's really sad that I can't think of any good multicolor Orzhov cards.
I think we need some more threats.
We could play. Wait. We could play the Planeswalker Kaya. I think.
Which Orzhov Usurper?
Maybe. I don't actually even really remember what it does, except for exiles a permanent with CMC 1 or less. But I remember it being pretty good.
Okay, let me just look up Orzhov Planeswalkers. Hold on.
Yep.
Orzhov, Planeswalker on Scryfall. Let's see what we got. Kaya, Soren.
I don't think we want any of the Sorens, but
I think one of them's like fine. Maybe not that fine.
we could play 6-mana Vraska as kind of our top end, because I don't think we have any 6 drops yet. Which I'm not saying we need 6 drops, but in the Golgari slot we could play Vraska.
Vraska or a big Garrick.
Yeah.
So Kaya, Orzhov Usurper, 3 mana, 3 loyalty. Exile up to 2 cards from a single graveyard. You gain 2 life if at least one was a creature. -1 exile non-land permanent with CMC 1 or less. -5 deals damage to target player equal to the number of cards that player owns in exile, and you gain that much. Yeah, that's probably fine. An excuse to play the card.
Yeah. That's one of those cards that I always want to play and then I never do, but
Kaya, Orzhov Usurper.
do we want to play... I feel like we have a lot of, Planeswalkers and stuff, so we could play Deafening Clarion in our 3-drop slot for, in our Boros slot as, a suit somewhat of a Wrath.
Yeah, it also just, as Azorius Charm, and just kind of might randomly just be like, oh,
Yeah,
by the way, I'll gain 7.
Yeah, giving lifelink to your Niv-Mizzet seems super solid.
Dude, there's so many cards from this war, or the Gilded Ravnica block.
Yeah. I wonder why. I wonder
But,
why that
more
could
than
be.
the original Ravnica block. Or the Return to Ravnica block.
Yeah.
That's why I'm confused. Not confused, but
Amused.
Sure. I think we do need some more.
Just realized we have not talked about our point spread at all.
Demonic Tutor.
Sure.
Moxes.
Honestly, yeah, I was just thinking triple Mox, but I like DT Mox.
That seems pretty good. It's probably green Mox just to try and set up our mana dorks better. We're pretty even on colors aside from dorks, yeah.
Yeah, I think Mox Emerald and then maybe
Blue?
Mox F. Yeah, yeah, that seems decent.
Well, we can cross that bridge momentarily.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, Deafening Clarion seems good. I feel like we need more threats.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like we have our threats are really heavy hitters, but we maybe want a few more.
It's gotta be some other red-green card. Some big smashy red-green card.
Chad's watching this right now, just naming off a list of different...
Ooh! We could play Minsk and Boo.
What is that card?
It just came out in Baldur's Gate. Hold on. So it is... Okay. So it's 2 red-green for a Planeswalker. Legendary Planeswalker Minsk comes in with 3 loyalty. When it enters the battlefield, and at the beginning of your upkeep, you may create Boo, a legendary 1/1 red hamster creature token with trample and haste.
Okay, I like hamsters.
So, if it dies, you can get a new one.
Yeah.
And it's a 1/1 red hamster with token with trample haste. So, also Minsk and Boo, Timeless Heroes can be your commander. So you +1. Minsk is the man, Boo is the hamster. A +1, put 3 1/1 counters up to 1 target creature with trample or haste.
Ooh, it's a beefy hamster.
For example, for example, Boo. -2, sacrifice a creature. When you do, Minsk and Boo deals X damage to any target where X is that creature's power. If the sacrifice creature was a hamster, you draw X cards.
Alright, I love this card. Mostly just because hamsters are dope.
No, dude, you can literally just, make a big hamster, then the next turn, sack that hamster, draw 4 cards, and then on your next turn, you make the hamster again, with haste.
Yeah, no, that's really good. I just like the thought of, Minsk, injecting his hamster with steroids and then chucking at it his opponent. Just it's like, all right, now eat this protein and take these supplements, and then I'm just gonna yeet you at the at my opponent.
Okay, so Minskamu Timeless Heroes on the list seems decent.
All right, do we want to play Vraska, the 6-mana one?
I mean, I think we brought our curve down enough that we can probably justify it. So it's Vraska, Renegade or something.
It's wow.
Alright, I'm looking up Vraska's. Holy crap.
Pirate Vraska.
Yeah, Pirate Vraska. Captain Vraska. Relic Seeker. She's seeking a relic.
Oh, yeah. Seeking
Vraska,
relics.
from the timeline where she fell in love with Jace, and then Jace had to forcibly amnesiate her.
Sucks to suck.
They were so in love. Okay, we need more Golgari cards. I feel like there's something really obvious we're not thinking of. I don't know what it is, but it's there's something.
Why is there a Golgari mana dork that makes rainbow?
Deathrite Shaman?
No, I think there's like a 2-mana one. I might be completely crazy.
Skull Prophet? I think that one only makes cards in your graveyard. I'm not sure about that.
I have no clue.
Do we want to play well, I cannot remember the name of this card. You used to play this in Budget Jund.
Grimflare?
Yeah.
It seems fine.
We're not
It's
really
like
delirious.
it's a cheaper threat. Yeah, I guess let's see. I mean,
It
we'll
helps us
pretty much
mill until we
always
find Niv-Mizzet.
we'll pretty much always have land in the graveyard, first of all, because we're playing 10 fetch lands. And then, like, we got plenty of creatures and planeswalkers and, like, instants. I think it wouldn't be unreasonable to hit Delirium pretty consistently.
No, I mean, we're just not, like, setting it. We're not gonna, like, slam it and already have Delirium.
I mean, if not turn 2, no.
Not early. It's probably fine.
Yeah. I'm
Um,
fine with playing. Okay, we need to give Orzhov some love. I mean, we can always just throw an Anguish I'm making in there. Like,
I feel
it's
like
just not
I feel like
bad.
we just need more threats, though. I just feel like there's some obvious Orzhov threat I'm not thinking of. What's the obvious Orzhov threat?
Like, lifelinky Orzhov threats.
Sure. I don't know. I feel like there's just something obvious that I'm not thinking of. You know what? I'm gonna look it up. You entertain the audience.
I was also actually looking it up, but be entertained, audience. I hope that you are enjoying us struggling to think of cards that you are, like, instantly thinking of. I feel like most people watching this are just like, oh my goodness, I can't believe they're forgetting this and this and this and this. And I would like to counter that by saying, you are right, we are not good at this. Alright, I'm gonna go through, so far we've got 6 in Azorius.
You could play Vanishing Verse. That's more removal, though.
I have no clue what that does.
Ooh, Blood Baron and Viscopta! Viscoppa.
I
That
don't
card's cool.
know what that one does either.
What? Yeah, you do. It's 3 black-white for a 4/4 with lifelink, pro-red, pro-black. Sorry, pro-white, pro-black. It's pro its own colors. As long as you have 30 or more life and an opponent has 10 or less life, Blood Baron gets +6/+6 and flying.
I'm not gonna dignify that with a response.
That card is like a huge thing in Standard. I've played it in Highlander before. It's like fine.
Okay, but we're not gaining life other than that.
Okay, that's not exactly true, but okay, whatever. It is a
What
4/4
else
with lifelink. Obsted at the Ghost Council? That's kind of cool.
Yeah, Obstinate seems, like, interesting.
Straight up value Obsidat. No one ever sees the value Obsidat coming. What are they gonna do? Remove it? You could play Sarah for the skills. I was all up in Standard.
We could play Kunaros, Hound of Atheros.
Doesn't that one have graveyard hate on it?
Yeah. It's 1 white-black for a legendary creature hound with vigilance, menace, lifelink. Creature cards in graveyards can't enter the battlefield, and creatures can't cast spells from graveyards. So it's like a kind of graveyard Haiti taxi card that you can get with like your creature tutors or whatever.
Did you say creatures can't cast spells from graveyards?
Creatures can't cast spells from graveyards. No, creature cards in graveyards can't enter the battlefield, and then players can't cast spells from graveyards.
Oh. I'm pretty sure you said creatures can't cast spells from graveyards.
Creatures can't cast spells.
I mean, it's the same thing. Like,
and now it's immortalized on the internet forever.
See, but it's going to be really dumb when we re-listen to this and you find out that I didn't say that. But I probably did.
Then that will be immortalized on the internet forever.
I probably did. But no, that seems like pretty decent, I think. It's Graveyard Hate, and we have some amount of creature tutors.
Okay. How do you spell
it? It is Kunoros.
Oh. What's the...
and then Hound of... And
Akros?
then Athreos.
Oh, Athreos?
Yeah, that.
Okay. Okay. I'm feeling pretty decent about these cards in this deck.
Yeah, alright. How many lands do we want to be on? Probably a pretty high number, right?
Thinking like approaching 40.
Yeah. Alright, I'm going to do a count real quick. So you entertain the audience while I count.
So I think I'm going to add just a couple of the, like, I already added, like, Dryad of the Listing Grove, Chromatic Lantern, Birds, Noble Hierarch, Sylvan Created, and Ephemerate. But just a couple other cards that I feel like are supposed to be just played in this deck. Like, we probably just play Brainstorm because we have so many fetches, and that seems good. We play Worldly Tutor because it obviously goes and gets our Mr. Niv-Mizzet.
Alright, we're at 58 cards, so really we only need 2 more, and then lands. Oh yeah, our points. Demonic Tutor, and then, well, I guess Mox probably take up land slots.
Mox, Emerald, and what, Sapphire we agreed on?
Yeah, I like Mox Sapphire. So we need 1 more card and then 38 lands.
Is it Sapphire like that? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So are there any other, like, Niv-Mizzet tutors that I'm not thinking of? Oh, we could play Brain Spoil.
What? What does that card do?
It's... I don't know what it does. I don't know what the rules text is on it, but it has Transmute and it costs 5 mana.
No.
But it gets Niv-Mizzet. That was not a joke.
Well, we just play creature tutors that get Niv-Mizzet.
Okay, but we can transmute for that. We transmute on 3, and then cast it on 5.
I mean,
also,
sure.
Honestly, I'm kind of thinking, like, I think we should. I'm thinking it might be better to actually play a Jet than a Sapphire.
Why?
Because, like, we have a bunch of black removal that we're going to want early, and there's less blue cards we want to play early. We're also playing Prismatic Ending. And if you tell me we're not, you're wrong.
Are you kidding? Like, are you like we have like we're playing 1 removal spell that is monocolored, and you're picking Prismatic Ending? Oh, wait, I guess no. We're 5 color.
Are you?
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. All right.
Yeah. I'm like,
Now,
what are you talking about?
That one is immortalized on the internet, and I wish I had. That was dumb.
Wonderful.
All right. Yep. Cool. This is our list. Add some lands. I feel like the mana base is pretty easy because it is 10 fetch lands, 10 duels, 10 shocks, and 10 man lands.
No,
Nope.
gold lands.
Uh,
Lands. Couple gold lands and
We play like. We're on City of Brass.
we play literal 0 lands that make 1 color of mana besides Caracas, because it bounces Niv-Mizzet.
Ooh, dude, that's hot. Yeah.
I know that's hot.
Alright. So, yeah. 10 fetches, 10 shocks, 10 duels, maybe like 3 triomes, and then mana confluence, City of Brass.
Okay, so hold on. 10 fetch, 10 shock, 10 duel.
Maybe
City of Brass, Mana, Confluence. Do we play Reflecting Pool?
Sure.
Reflecting Pool, Caracas.
So now we have 4 more
Like-
slots.
One basic. Probably one basic for if we get Path or Assassin Trophied.
Yeah, maybe.
And that's probably a Forest.
Yeah. Alright, and then
Like, we're almost never fetching for it.
I
Like, it doesn't
think-
really matter what it is. It's just not a mountain. And it's one of our things that could cast Dramoka's Command in case we have a Torque.
yeah, I think we're on like 2 Triumphs. Maybe. We have 3 more land slots.
So, what do you
So,
want to do? Are there any other random utility lands that we're not thinking of right now?
I mean, we could play some man lands.
I feel like we don't want our lands coming in tapped.
I mean, as
Unless we're
except for
fetching
the
them.
Triumphs, I guess. Yeah, I think you're. Well, I don't know. I mean, like here's my thing: is like in the early game, we're not doing much, so I don't think playing like a
then
turn
we can play
one.
our shocks tapped.
Well, yeah, but I don't think like playing a turn 1 Raging Ravine is like necessarily a bad thing. But I feel like maybe I think it's
Yeah,
worth
okay.
having a couple. But
I don't think we want Raging Ravine as our tap land turn 1 because that doesn't help cast as much early stuff as we need it to. I mean, it's fine. It's not bad, but it's like...
yeah, all right, we'll just
Re-
put in like 2 Triumphs and
So which Triumphs, though?
um.
We want, I guess, like, if we're wanting...
Let's see.
Honestly, I feel like we just pick Triumphs at random, and then, like, more or less at random, and then, like, really we just have to play the deck to see what the Triumphs we're often wanting.
Yeah. All right. So
like,
we're
after
playing.
getting reps in.
I think we're on the Esper Triumph and the.
Naya Triumph?
Sure.
And then what, we have one more?
Yeah. So do we want to play another Triumph or?
I don't know why, I just feel like we want the Teamer one.
Sure. All right. Team or Triumph.
Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, that can't be right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 38 lands.
And then the 2 Mox.
Okay, are we... let's check these numbers again really quick. I count 63 non-lands.
That would mean that we are 1 over.
Cut Brainstorm.
You had Brainstorm in here?
We have so many fetch lands. Okay, we're cutting Brainstorm.
Just to be clear, is this before or after Robert starts puts stuff back in?
This can be after. Welcome back, everyone.
Hello, everyone. We just counted cards and figured out that we are 1 over, and then we cut Brainstorm.
You had to... We cut Brainstorm.
Yep.
I liked the Brainstorm, but Nicholas bullied me.
I mean, okay, don't get me wrong. 10 fetches plus Brainstorm is, like, pretty decent, but...
I'm also playing Tutors.
Yeah, but, like, we're just doing, like, other things.
Are there any multicolored cards in the point list?
I don't think so.
Hold on, I have to check now.
Me too.
Well, I'll check, and we're pretty much done here.
Yeah.
I might legit build this.
Me too.
Do you want to talk about what you played
Oh, yeah.
most recently? Move to our closing segment very, very smoothly.
Oh, yeah, that was the smoothest transition I've ever seen. Let's see. I took notes on this, but I don't know where I took notes on this.
Okay, I will do it because, well, actually, yeah, I'll do it. Okay. Hi, everyone. We took notes on our matches last time, so we can actually do it. Yeah. So last week I played Paradox because we talked about it last time, and I was like, oh yeah, I want to play this. So I played Paradox. I ended up 2-1. Round 1, I went up against John Lands. It seemed like it was John Lands. He didn't do all that much, honestly. He besaged my Blightsteel Colossus, which has indestructible.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
So I was like, besage you target my Blightsteel? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, I'll get a land. He's like, and that's dead? And I'm like, no.
No.
He's like, oh, well, that probably lost me the game. And I'm like, yeah. Because, like, I watched him tutor. He tutored for the Besager, too.
Oh, no.
He tutored for Besager and the Besager. And I was like, sorry, Haas. Yeah, so, yeah, I tinkered into the Blightsteel on turn 2 or 3. So, like, it was quick. Round 2, I went up against Seth on the Rock. It's a decent matchup for Paradox as long as they don't draw, like, you know, because they don't usually sorry, goodness, I can't talk. They don't usually present a threat fast enough, and they don't interact quite as well with your board as they do with other decks. But I did mold a 4 game 2, and game 3, he had a lot of answers and killed me quick enough. So, he got me. And then round 3, I was against a deck that was labeled by the owner as Teamer Tempo, but it was not Tempo. It was like mid-rangey control. It was all over the place, really. I have written here in my notes that upheaval is a hell of a drug, so I guess I upheavaled him.
Yep.
Good times.
Yeah.
Upheavaling people is great. Fantastic. It's actually upheaval, and then 2 turns after you upheaval, entwining a Reap and Sow. That's good stuff. He had 1 land, and I had 4 lands in play, and a bunch of artifacts, and then I killed him.
That is really unfortunate.
It was great. I don't know what you're talking about. It was amazing.
Well, for him.
Oh, yes. Now, will you tell us about your deck? I'm going to see if there are any multicolor cards on the points list.
Okay. Yeah, so I was back on my 4-color recurring walks, which is, I think, my official name for the deck. So I also went 2-1. Round 1, I was against the same player that Ash was just talking about. On the Teamer, I wrote mid-range / control. He called it tempo, but to be fair, he did admit that it wasn't very tempo-y after playing it for a little bit. So game 1, I lost to a combination of him landing an Oko, a Renin 6, casting a Recall, and Flame. So I kept my hand knowing what he was on, and I had both a Prime Speaker Vanifar and a Luminous Broodmoth, and I was like, oh, he's on Teamer. He doesn't have ways to deal with my 4-power creatures, and both of these are very good. And then he Flame Slashed the first one, and then Snapcaster Flame Slashed the second one. So I lost. Game 2, I
Flame Slash, very playable. Play it in your red decks.
Very good. Game 2, I got an Oko turn 3 and a Questing Beast turn 4, and then actually it might have been turn 2 and turn 3. I think I had a turn 1 Mana Dork, and I just went really fast and killed him. And then game 3, he was stuck on 1 land for a while, and I thought I had it, but it's the classic case of Mana Screw beats Mana Flood, because I just kept drawing lands, and then eventually he drew enough lands to cast all of the cards in his hand, and I lost. Round 2, I was against our good friend and editor, Robert, on Goblins. Game 1, I was able to combo off and just take infinite turns. Game 2, he was able to combo and make infinite Kiki Jikis, and then sacrifice them all for damage. And then
they weren't actually Kiki Jikis, they just had Kiki Jiki's ability.
Oh yeah, that's true. And then game 3, I won with stuff. That's what I wrote here. I literally just wrote won with stuff. I just played like creatures that were efficient and killed them. And then listen,
we talk about it all the time, but the power of the creature combo decks is your combo pieces just have power.
Yeah, you just like attack them and then they die. It's great. And then in the last round, I was against another Goblin deck, and I was just able to get a pretty quick combo off both games. and just got there. So yeah, we both went 2-1, and it was a pretty fun night.
What do you think are the odds, Nick, that the next 4-man paper thing we put up, you're going to be playing Recurring Walks?
If people want to see it, I would definitely be down. I've tuned the list pretty well, I think. I've definitely found some cards that don't belong and found the cards that definitely do belong. So yeah, I think I'm good enough with where the deck is at the moment to play it in our next 4-man.
Well, great. If people want to see that, let us know, and let me know what you guys want me to play. If no one tells me, I'm just going to pick something. But if I hear some good suggestions, I might go with one of them.
You could play this deck.
People want to see it. I think I might just do that.
Honestly, I kind of just want to see it, but I also kind of want to play it. So
I don't have all the duels, so I would have to adjust the mana base a little bit. But no, I can't borrow yours if you're playing Recurring Walks.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Because I would need the blue ones.
Yep.
So, all right. Any other closing comments?
No. Thanks for listening, as always.
All right. See you guys. Have a good one.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the 10 Points Podcast. And don't forget to count your points.